Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. For everyone out there that celebrates Christmas, happy holidays. I hope you guys are having an amazing time with your families. What are some of your traditions that you do with your families for the holiday season? Let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing how different families celebrate the season. And from my family to yours, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. With that being said, today I want to talk to you guys about Miss Katie Joy, aka Without a Crystal Ball. As most of you probably know, this lady is constantly in the media for something, but we've not discussed her a great deal over here lately because honestly, it does get to a point where it just seems to be really repetitive, and in my personal opinion, it does get old. But today we got some new tea because Katie Joy's out here having run-ins with different fairly big media outlets, in particularly The Sun. For those of you who are not familiar with The Sun, they are a media outlet that discusses all things social media and reality TV, and they are a well-known source for many content creators, including myself. However, because they are mainstream media, you've got to source them. If you're using them as a source, you got to give them credit, or they will send you a cease and desist. That's just the way it works in this industry. Anyone that's been around knows that that's the way things work here. It's called creators etiquette, and honestly, Miss Katie Joy has been known. She definitely has a history of having a short supply of it. Too many times to count, Katie Joy has quote unquote broken stories without crediting her sources, and she's actually lost quite a few sources because of this. It's disrespectful as heck to get information from someone or a media outlet and not credit them. These people put in a lot of work to break these stories, and at the end of the day, they are the real ones that break the stories. Just because I may be the one here on YouTube to talk about it first does not mean that I broke the story. It also doesn't mean that other content creators aren't allowed to speak on it. But for Miss Katie Joy, she views YouTube as a competition. So not only does she keep her sources anonymous and does not credit them more times than not, but she also gets real offended if other creators talk about topics that she's talking about. This is something that's really always gotten under my skin, and Katie Joy is not the only content creator who does this, but it is confusing to me because YouTube is a big space. It's a huge platform, and there are thousands of commentators here who talk about social media and reality TV. So to think that there's never going to be a situation where you and another creator are discussing the same topic, that's ridiculous to me. To even view YouTube as a competition is absolutely sad to me. YouTube was made for creators to work together, connect, and collab, not to view one another as competition and hate on each other. Instead, you should be inspired by other creators, especially if they're talking about the same things you do talk about. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched another creator's video and it sparked a conversation I wanted to have here. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all do that as creators, and that's perfectly fine. As long as you're using creators etiquette and you are giving credit where credit is due, it should be viewed as inspiration and respect. Even if you don't shout out every single source that you use, leaving it in the description and just giving that credit is important. But unfortunately, we do have creators like Katie Joy who don't just want a piece of a pie, they want the whole damn pie. And she is no stranger to cease and desist. Katie Joy has received quite a few in her time, but with this most recent one from The Sun, she did go on over to Instagram and voice her opinions. Huge shout out to Llama Girl from Twitter. I am going to link her down below, and also True Slueth. Both of these people are really great at breaking down the hypocrisies of Katie Joy, and I highly recommend you go and check them out.
Every single news station gets sued. Every reporter gets sued. That's just part of the business. I got a cease and desist today from The Sun because of photographs from the trial. Photographs that are literally posted all over the news, that have been reposted all over Twitter and Reddit. I hope The Sun is going to send cease and desists to Twitter and to Reddit, who reposted all of their photos. The Sun is like international, but it's like the same as People or In Touch. It's just weird because everyone has posted these photos. Everyone. Every blogger, every YouTuber I've seen has posted these same photos. So it's like weird because it's like everyone just shared the photos while the trial was going on. Like all those photos from the masks and like they're everywhere. Well, then they were like, okay, you don't get to use us as a, like, you can't use our content in any way. And I said, so I responded back to the lawyer and I said to them, I was like, okay, so it's weird because you guys use you guys literally use my blog every day on your freaking website. I said, I could pull up 5, 10 articles that literally have me sourced. I'm the top Duggar blogger in terms of like what I cover with accuracy and the people that I have like intel from. And you're going to tell me that I can't use your photos? Does that, like, you use my content every day. So, okay, are we going to trade then? So you don't get to use my scoops and I don't get to use your photos. Like, I told them about fair use too. I was like, well, I'm not going to take them out of my videos because I usually put them up for 5 seconds, and 5 seconds of using a photograph isn't really like constitute a copyright claim in a 20-minute video. So, and why are they mad about the photographs from the trial now when the trial actually ended like a week ago? Nobody's actually like, yeah, TMZ took my story and didn't even credit me. Should I send them should I literally send them a cease and desist? Like, no. Like, blogs repost stuff constantly. Like, you say this is reposted on The Sun and you talk about it, or you say this is the scoop from In Touch and you talk about it. Like, if we all sued each other, it wouldn't work. Like, what are you doing? Like, I went to The Sun and they literally had me quoted in like 5 stories. So I'm like, so you're telling me that I can't like reshare one of your pictures and say that it's yours, but you can use my content? I don't get it. On every single video I put up on YouTube and every post that I made with those photos, I literally would say like the Sun posted. Like, you're just so dumb. That's like when people come up from Reddit and say, you never credit Reddit. When I literally will say like, oh, whoever made this on Reddit is awesome. Right. Ugh. I haven't had a cease and desist in a while, so it was pretty amazing actually.
Pretty amazing, actually. Who even talks like that? Who gets excited about the fact that they're in lawsuits? Who gets excited over cease and desist? I know I wouldn't, but it is my humble opinion that she gets excited because these are the things that keep her relevant. She wants people to talk about her. She wants to be in lawsuits. She wants to be receiving cease and desist because then this gives her something to talk about. It gives other people stuff to talk about, which in return keeps her relevant and her channel continues to grow. I mean, hey, it's a system that seems to be working for her. It may be a messed up system, but it's working. And here's the real tea. If Katie Joy was telling the truth in this live stream, then she's actually not wrong. Everybody does use these images, including myself. I have been sourcing The Sun for the last week in all of my Duggar videos. So if Katie Joy was doing what she said she was doing and crediting The Sun and sourcing them in the description, she shouldn't have a problem, right? The problem here, Katie, is that allegedly you don't credit people and you don't source people. And anyone who's been around for any extended amount of time knows that, but let's say you're new and you don't know. All you have to do is go look. Here are just a few examples of her Duggar content and her not giving credit where credit is due. You guys can pause to read it, but a lot of these images that you see before you are images that belong to The Sun, and she doesn't source them anywhere, or for that matter, anyone else. In fact, in this one, she kind of even makes it a joke, the fact that she doesn't credit any sources. And in the clips that I just played, it's so obvious that Katie believes that she is above others. She is constantly saying how she's a top journalist and she's this and she's that. But as I said before, she has played a very nasty game to get to the top. And last but not least, her statement about all journalists and commentators get sued from other media outlets. Sorry sis, can't relate. Some of us are trying to do this whole YouTube thing the right way. And we dang sure ain't trying to be in lawsuits every month or so, that's for sure. Y'all let me know what you think on this situation. Do you believe that The Sun had every right to send her a cease and desist? Or do you think they're being petty and that Katie Joy's in the right? Also, if you want to stay in the loop with reality TV or social media gossip, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing before you go, and tapping the bell for post notifications. That way you're notified every single time I upload. I appreciate all of you guys too, the moon and stars, and until the next time, mwah. Bye guys!